Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to add the dynamic content into your abandoned checkout email flows in your abandoned cart email flows inside of Klaviyo. Now, if you watched my previous video, then you will know that an abandoned checkout flow is not the same thing as an abandoned cart flow. They are two different flows. So with that being said, they need two different dynamic content setups. Now, if you don't even know what I mean when I say dynamic content, then let me break that down for you really quick. Let's say, for example, you're browsing on a website and you put something in your cart and then you just get off the website. That's it. And then all of a sudden, about 30 minutes later, you start getting emails from that same company with that same item that you just put in your cart. That is dynamic content. That means that the company is sending out automated emails that have to do with the individual person's individual items. They're not sending out just some generic email. They're sending out dynamic content that is associated with exactly what you are looking at on their website, which entices you to keep looking at the thing you were already looking at on their website. So yes, I will say that having a generic abandoned checkout flow or a generic abandoned cart flow is better than just, having nothing at all. But if you really want to up your email marketing game and thus increase more sales, then you need to have your dynamic content set up correctly and in place on your email marketing flows. And there's no need to worry because guess what? It's so easy and I'm about to show you how to do this right now. So to set this up completely from scratch, which this is our dynamic content, the first thing we're going to want to do is add a table into your Klaviyo email. You're going to notice that by default on the left-hand side is a text cell and on the right-hand side is an image. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and make sure that under the Styles tab, you select Dynamic. Now under row collection, you are going to paste this little piece of code, which all of the code that I have in this video will be linked in the description down below. Just fill out a quick form so I can send you the code, and then it's going to be on the success page. So it takes 2 seconds, just grab all the code down below. Okay, moving on. Now row aliases is just going to be item. And then we're going to go back to our content tab. Now this is just a personal preference, but I personally like for the left-hand side to be an image instead of text. And then I'm going to make the column on the right-hand side be text. Okay, so going back to our image, the first thing we're going to want to do is select image, and then we're going to click on dynamic image. Here, you're going to paste the code that, again, I said is down in the description below. Then you click save. And scrolling on down, under the image, the link address is going to be a different piece of code. You'll notice this one starts as your organization. So it's very important that you have these two pieces of code in the correct places. After that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna edit our text cell. Now again, this piece of code is in the description down below. Once you get that piece of code, just copy it and then you're gonna hit paste, and then you can do paste with formatting. Now you can change these to be the size that you need if you want it to be bold or not, and you can also change the font here to make it match your brand. Okay, so now we've got our image and then we have got our code that will automatically pull in the product information from the product that the customer was looking at when they were checking out. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to make sure that you have this set up correctly, because you don't want to just be emailing your customer any old product in the checkout abandoned flow. You want to be emailing them about the product that they were actually checking out with. Now let's clean this up a little bit so we can have some padding and we can just read it a little bit better. We're going to go back to the Styles tab, and then we're going to scroll down, and here under cell we're going to add some padding. So let's just start with 10. You can see how that looks, and then you can play around with the padding to see if you want more or less. Now because I already have this all set up for my client already, I'm going to go ahead and just delete this entire table. But once you are done, your email should look something like this. So you should only have one table. Now you want to also make sure that any buttons that you have are linked with this piece of code, which will again be down in the description below. And that's how you set up the dynamic content for your abandoned checkout email. Now let's go ahead and set up the dynamic content for your abandoned cart flow. And assuming you already have at least one email ready to go and your trigger already set up, which if you don't, make sure you watch my other video because I have another video showing you how to make sure that your added to cart trigger is successfully set up between Shopify and Klaviyo. Because remember, I cannot say this enough, your abandoned cart flow is different than your abandoned checkout flow. Okay, moving on. So you've already got your first email set up, so go ahead and open up that email and make sure you click edit. Now it's going to look similar to the abandoned checkout dynamic content, but it's just a little bit different and the pieces of code are a little bit different. So the biggest difference is you'll notice here, we're gonna have a split. So instead of having a table, we're gonna do split. So yes, I already have this set up for my client, but I'm gonna walk you through how to do this from scratch. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is come over to the left-hand side and add a split block. Now it's kind of similar to the table as well. One side is going to be an image and the other side is going to be text. Now you're going to start by going to your image and then you're going to click select image, and you're also going to do dynamic image. The dynamic variable that's going to go here is this piece of code. Once you've copied it and pasted it, then click save. And then scrolling down, the link address underneath this image is going to be your cart. So it's your website domain, so whatever your website is /cart. So the image that's going to populate is the image that they put inside their cart of the product that they put inside their cart. But the link, so if they were to click on this image, you want it to take them to their cart, not just, a picture of the image. So make sure you have the event image URL here in the dynamic content section, but then the link of the image needs to be your cart. Now we're going to go to the text column and you're going to copy the code that is down below and just paste with formatting there too. And like I mentioned earlier, you can change the styling of this to match your brand, whatever you need to do from that front. But the code is the exact same. It doesn't really matter what size or what font it is. And the last thing you want to make sure you do is update the button link. So the button link is also going to be the cart as well. So again, it's just whatever your domain name is. In this case, it's shopaugustmoon.com/cart. And I would suggest testing this link address by copying it and pasting it into like a Google browser and making sure that it actually takes your customers to their cart. And again, like the other one, because I already have this set up for my client, I'm just going to delete this split. And when you are done, you should only have one split here. And this is again for your abandoned cart. And that's that. Those are the two ways you set up dynamic content for your abandoned checkout flow versus your abandoned cart flow. Thank you for watching today's video. As always, it means so much to me and the support that you guys give on this channel. So if you want to learn more about Shopify, different apps to use, email marketing, or just business things in general, then consider subscribing to my channel. And if you've been around here for a while, then you know the drill. I will see you in the next video.